Good morning, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you having a great weekend and God bless you. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the news this Saturday morning. Huge news. Go and watch Tucker Carlson's interview with Kari Lake. She states that she is 100% certain. Believe the exact words she used was she'll when it's with 100% certainty. Those might have been the exact words. But I'm paraphrasing now. She's 100% certain that she will eventually, within the next couple of days or within the next week, whenever they stop counting, be on top and become the next governor of Arizona. Now Adam Laxalt is still up. 95% reporting already done and he's still up by 1,000. Show Cortez Masto has come. She's cut the distance a bit, but he's still up in Nevada and in Arizona. There are Republican areas of each state that Laxalt and Kari Lake are depending on. Interestingly enough, those areas have been counted last. So the question is, why have those areas been accounted last? Or why have those areas been? Why have officials waited to do the counting in Republican counties or districts or regions have each respective state? Why have these officials waited to give Laxalt and Kari Lake the totals within those regions that vote heavily red, heavily Republican, and overwhelmingly for Laxalt and Kari Lake? Blake Masters. In terms of Blake Masters, he was down by too much. He didn't get within like 20,000 or 17,000. Like Kari Lake now is down about 30,000 with hundreds of 1,000s of votes left within Republican-held regions or within regions of Arizona that voted overwhelmingly for her. Okay, so she's extremely confident. Same with Adam Laxalt. He's still up and they've yet to tabulate regions within Nevada that vote overwhelmingly for Laxalt. Now, the interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. If Republicans don't get the Senate, okay, and that's a big F because Laxalt looks like he's black. So he has stated he's going to win. Kari Leggett stated he's going to win Blake Masters. He declared a certain type of victory or confidence. But he was a bit too far behind. But that's because of me, Mitch McConnell. Major ago, Mitch McConnell cost Arizona was in Trump. Okay. The Republican Party decides how much, or Mitch McConnell and other Republicans within the Republican Party decide how much money each candidate gets. So it gets in. So instead of giving money to Blake Masters, they decided to give money to harm one Republican and help another Republican in Alaska. So it makes no sense. Mitch McConnell did not want Blake Masters to win. They actually pulled money. The Republican Party pulled money from Arizona and they pulled money from New Hampshire also. Don Bolder could have won. Had he been like Mises the thing? Okay. If people are blaming Trump and they think that it was not a fantastic victory in the House, and the Senate is up for grabs now, that's not the fault of Trump. Okay. They lost the Senate. They lost the Senate in Arizona and they lost the Senate in Georgia, not because of Trump, because they invest in you as a Republican president. When you investigate do you think that there are any Democratic Party investigations of Hunter? Okay. Do you think how many investigations? How many special counsels? How many special counsels did Democrats preside over to investigate Hunter? And Joe? Oh, that's absurd, right? Well, why did they do that with Trump? How did you have a Republican in Jeff Sessions, who just gave it to the second in command of the Department of Justice? And how did they go ahead and preside over a Republican investigation in the Senate with Richard Burr, stating that the Kremlin wanted Trump? Think about that for a second, because nobody's thinking about that. How many Democratic Party special counsels were there run by a Democratic Party Attorney General? Do you think Merrick Garland would ever recuse himself? Like ever. But Jeff Sessions recused himself in 2 seconds? Do you think Democrats in a Democratic administration in the Oval Office would investigate through a special counsel Biden or President Obama or Bill Clinton? Never. They would never do that. They're voting for deceased people in Pennsylvania. So what do you think? So when people say watch the short on this channel, thank God for Donald Trump. And I'm gonna do another short if it's not Donald Trump, in 2024, if Donald Trump is not the nominee, I'm not voting Republican, or I'm just not gonna vote probably. If it's not Donald Trump. Now, if it's DeSantis, I'm probably will lean to non-voting. I'm not. It won't be DeSantis, it'll be Trump. But my point is, it just depends on how mainstream or middle the road or centrist DeSantis becomes. If he becomes a traditional Republican, not voting. If it's not Trump, but I mean, generally, my statement is, if it's not Donald Trump, I'm almost certainly not going to vote for the Republican nominee. It'll be Trump. Trump will be the nominee. He'll steamroll everybody. But my point is, you need Donald Trump. You need a second term of Donald Trump with Republicans that rally around him. Mitch McConnell has to go. If it's Kevin McCarthy, he has to prove himself as Speaker of the House. They have to impeach Biden twice. They impeached Trump twice. Sorry. It's why they impeached Trump for no they didn't. It wasn't he didn't cause January, they impeached him out of malice. They didn't impeach Trump on any criminal act because he hasn't been indicted even by a Democratic attorney general. They couldn't find any evidence. You can find evidence of graft and potential bribery schemes with Hunter's emails, and 150 suspicious transactions, according to CBS News, and all the reporting the Daily Mail, and especially the New York Post and the Federalist. So when you have Liz Cheney talking about Team Normal, okay, and she lost by 40 points in Wyoming, a red state, Kate, conservatives or Republicans are people like myself who are conservative on a lot more things than I've become a lot more on the Second Amendment and a lot of other things as well. But when you see that the economy is terrible, the whole point of being a socialist or a Democrat or voting for Bernie Sanders, or AOC, is that you want to help poor people. You don't want poverty. You don't want poverty to increase. Poverty has increased under the watch of Democrats. That's a fact. Columbia University, it's like 15% poverty rate nationally now. Okay. It was 10.5. We had the lowest on record poverty rate under Trump in 2019. Every socialist should be voting for Trump, because you have the lowest poverty rate on record in 2019. But see, Democrats don't care. The far left doesn't care because they're funneled back into the Democratic Party with the Lincoln Project people, the Lincoln Project Bush, Cheney and Rumsfeld. Republicans are voting for the same Democrat as a communist or socialist or a left-leaning the furthest lefty you could find. They're voting for the same political party. So Mitch McConnell and others will understand this. It's a religion to people on the left. They'll vote for a deceased person even in Pennsylvania. They'll vote for somebody who speaks like a deceased person for senator. So you, like Mitch McConnell, single-handedly prevented Blake Masters from becoming senator. We need Laxalt. Laxalt is on his way to winning and Carrie Lake is on her way to winning. And this is some big news. It's not over till it's over. You fight to the bloody end today. Democrats are learning a very harsh lesson. Don't celebrate till the final buzzer. For those of you guys who choose to exist on Twitter, you might have been paying attention to the trending tab over the last 2 days. Lauren Boebert or Boebern has been trending for the last 2 days straight. Vote blue no matter who. Democrats keep posting memes celebrating the supposed demise of Lauren Boebern. Many Democrats even calling the race early, declaring Lauren Boebert has lost her congressional seat, and even supposedly a local news outlet doing the same thing. And then the more of those votes slowly started to trickle in, the more the Democrats' lead started to dwindle. And would you look at that, with over 95% of the votes counted, and reported Lauren Boebert, it looks like she's gonna win, pulling ahead by nearly 1,000 votes against her Democrat contender. All of a sudden Democrats went from celebrating Lauren Boebert's demise to totally silent. I mean, where did they go? And now of course calling for a recount. Like, there's a lot of races that are still in play. And here's another seed retained by the GOP. Alright folks, so let's start off with the meme template. How it started versus how it's going. These before and after photos at Lauren Boebern's election party are giving me life, says Keith Edwards on Twitter. We have the before and the after, suggesting that Lauren Boebert has done. John Cooper writes, I've seen enough. In a huge upset, Democrat Adam Frisch has defeated Lauren Boebert, one of Trump's most ardent and most despicable supporters. Lauren Boebert going down harder than Donald Trump on the Mar-a-Lago waffle station or an Uber will not be a member of the 180th Congress. Jen Psaki writes, just a shout out to my dad who lives in our district and told me last month that Lauren Boebert could lose and I didn't believe him. Rachel Vindman writes, is the bowling alley snack bar in Rifle, Colorado hiring, asking for Lauren Boebert. La Mystyle writes, I peed my pants when they flash that Boebert number, please, please, please. Adam Park Home and CO writes, Lauren Colbert has not tweeted in 36 hours. Her last tweet was "The red wave has begun with 99% of the vote in. She is still losing her election." Fake news. By the way, MSNBC is Joanne Reed. What job Lauren Bavard have if she loses? Democrat responds, "I guess it might be a game for OnlyFans." Absolutely despicable stuff from the Democrats, of course, but it goes on and on and on and on. Even with Grant Stern is boosted. Writing local news outlet in Colorado reports Adam Schiff has defeated Lauren Boebern. Can't wait until the race is finalized so I can wave her goodbye. Democrats are celebrating and even going as far to fabricate this total fake news as total lie, which I'm seeing from all kinds of left-wing Twitter accounts. Bavard update: the percentage of reported precincts for Lauren Boebern. Adam Frisch is now 99%. They're claiming that 99% of the vote is in and Lauren Bavard has done well. Not so fast. Left voids. The percent of votes being reported was around 90 to 95% during this period where leftists were celebrating, and now as we've crossed the 95% points, well lower, and Belbird continues to extend her lead. Estimated vote in 99%. She now leads by around 800 votes. It's most likely headed into a recount, but it looks like Lauren Boebert is probably going to pull through. At least that's if the numbers keep coming in the way that they have been favoring her. It looks like Democrats are going to have egg on their face once again, looking at terrible. And speaking of Democrats looking terrible, I mentioned this moment earlier, which happened on Joy Reid's MSNBC show. "Everyone listen to this," they said. "Tight race against Lauren Boebert meet. What's the meaning? Is Lauren Bavard the second most popular QAnon congressperson in MAGA? What if she goes? What if she loses? And what job will she have? I don't even think exists anymore. I don't think shooters exist anymore. No. Well, I guess it might be a game for OnlyFans. I don't know what you would do in this scenario. But I think that for symbolically to take out one of the poster childs of the MAGA movement, someone who has been an absolute disgrace to the office that she holds, would be a great feather in the cap, and would, I think, cement the fact that this has been an absolute unmitigated disaster for the MAGA wing of the FBI? Yes, of course, the feminist left strikes again. And did you see Joy and Reid's reaction? This is, of course, the left that stands on their pedestal and looks at you lecturing you about ethics, and why you're a terrible person in comparison to them. This is the kind of analysis that you see on MSNBC. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Joanne Reid is out of a job pretty soon, especially considering her reaction to this comment, laughing like a high school bullied. And keep in mind, Tiffany Jaw was ousted from the network last week, if I'm not mistaken, for a statement that wasn't nearly as bad. Florida literally looks like the of the country. So let's get rid of Florida. Well, Joanne Reid and Kurt Bardella once again give us a glimpse into who these left droids are so filled with glee. They're so busy gloating at the potential demise of someone like Lauren Boebern that their true colors start to show. Well, not so fast, because they're now losing. And there's a lot of races which can go the exact same way. Democrats are getting a little bit too confident here. For instance, even Colorado's District 8 is currently in a nail-biter race with 1,000 votes separating the two candidates, with only 90% of the vote being reported. Who knows, the closer you get to 100. It's possible we see a Republican surge. We have a similar race in New Mexico's a second district, which could see a Republican taking the seat in Arizona as District 1 as well, with 75% reporting. If there's more election day votes to go and they keep splitting for Republicans like they have been, there's some really close races in California as well. And so really, I don't even get what these Democrats are celebrating in the first place. They've turned someone like Lauren Bavard into a buggy woman. They've made it personal, and so they were counting on her demise, and once they got a taste of it, they got a little bit too excited. And already here they are looking like fools once again. Not exactly surprising. This always happens when people try to go after Lauren Boebern. Remember the time she quoted Joe Biden's two-word gaffe, and all the left-wing dweebs all over Twitter tried dunking on her, and of course ended up looking like fools who don't pay attention to the news cycle. Well, at this point, you think that they would learn, kind of similar to the Trump curse. It seems as though the Boober curse also exists. Every single time they try to take down Lauren Boebern, it ends up in a massive fiery crash, a total failure for the left. But of course, at the same time, we're not going to make the same mistake that the left-wingers are making, and calling this election over. The race flipping is certainly enjoyable, at least in the short term. The race is still close. Lauren Gilbert has to win the final 4% of the votes coming in, and then she's gonna have to win in the recount process, because this race is certainly going to a recount, And so, of course, we are rooting for her, we are praying for her, because there's nothing better than enjoying a sweet left Boyd backfire. And because, frankly, I don't want to see my Twitter feed filled with vile leftist attacks, despicable character, assassinations, ad hominems, and sexist attacks targeting Lauren Boebert, because if the Democrat ends up winning here, that's exactly what's going to happen. It happens every single time with people like Melania Trump, Kayleigh McEnany, Lauren Boebert. The feminist left strikes again with their despicable vile sexism, but in general good news looks like Lauren Boebert is doing pretty well. Alright, thanks for being here folks, please receive a big hug from all of us, let me know down